What's up, guys? Welcome to Buckets and Chill, the Retrospect.com's official NBA podcast. I'm your co-host, Javier Faustino, alongside Vincent Pao and Andre Santos.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, like Javier said, I'm Vince. So, the Retrospect started out as a website for pop culture and mostly stuff about sports and movies and whatnot. So, this is our official and first podcast, and it's about the best league in the world, the NBA.
So, Buckets and Chill is a three-man tango exploring the basketball scene with analysis, debate, and good old-fashioned trash talk. Before we begin, this episode is sponsored by Alcatel Mobile, bringing you their latest product, the 3T8 4G tablet, perfect for online classes and work at home. The tablet features an 8-inch HD screen, ultra-thin design, and 4G LTE capability, all for just 5,990 pesos. Visit Alcatel Mobile PH on Facebook for more info. Some breaking news here, guys. Russell Westbrook has just been arrested for breaching his Rockets contract as he illegally played for the
Okay.
Lakers in Game 2. You know, guys, like 2020 really does have it all. It's crazy, man.
Did
So,
you,
what...
you- go,
Yeah,
go,
They're,
go.
they're giving him the Ben Simmons treatment, man. It's crazy.
the Ben
The shot-
Simmons social distancing.
Yeah.
So, what did he have? Post game, he was already wearing his orange prison uniform, right? And he had 10 points, 4 out of 15 field goal, 1 out of 7 from 3, and 7 turnovers. Those turnovers were especially deadly because the Lakers are like,
I
you
don't-
know, an elite team in transition,
He
right?
can't. He played well though. Game one, right? Like he made that one dagger three. He had like what 20 points, 24 points. But yeah,
But
He
I
was
think
decent.
But I think that's where the problem was that he attempted 7 shots from 3. I saw that he hasn't exceeded 6 field goal attempts from 3 since like January or something. So like the Rockets game planned about it's just jacking up threes and letting Harden go to work, and then
Yeah.
they fit Russ in there by like letting him go work in the mid range, drive to the bucket. So it just he just lacked confidence and he didn't stick to the game plan. He started doubting himself, and that's why he missed so many open threes. Like you saw,
wait, hold on. I need to get this straight first. Are you a Westbrook hater? I know there's two types of people in this world. People who support Westbrook and people who hate Westbrook. And at the start of his career, I hated Westbrook, man. But like
yeah,
when as this I don't know, I think this happens to all NBA fans. We start to love him slowly. Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
Like I used to hate how he was so like loud and everything, but and then I realized that that's just who he is. Did that happen
Yeah.
to you, Javier?
Yeah,
I remember
I think-
you last year, and it was Dame versus Westbrook, and we used to just go at it, and I just kept saying how like Westbrook's a better player, but you kept saying, I mean, okay,
Okay,
now, okay, go.
Westbrook might be the better player individually. You know, he has a more all-around game. That's why he averaged like a triple double for 2 seasons. But I think Dame is like the winning player, right? And I definitely like. I'm a Westbrook admirer now. Like I got converted because initially I didn't think he was a winning player, and then I thought that he was like improving, and then now it's like I don't know. Can he be the
West-
second best player on a championship
Westbrook
Yeah.
converter. What is this?
Yeah.
A religion?
team? Yeah.
I liked him after KD left. I'm a KD hater.
Oh
And-
yeah, so
Oh.
both of you
Well,
KD
but
He's
hate.
getting real. He's getting real.
I never really liked OKC. But when KD left, I just felt that when he took on the leadership role,
Yeah.
and then it was able to bring the best out of him. But
True.
I don't know, it really confuses me. In his MVP season, the game-winning threes, the clutch baskets, like I never thought of him as a poor shooter until I don't know, until
But
he came
that's
to
the
Houston.
thing, though. Like,
Is it because of the volume lang?
It's just
Maybe
the
the
thing
volume
with-
of shots.
No, I think his shot broke like somewhere along the way because he was never this bad.
Somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I think it did
one
also.
season, right? He was, but
But I
the
think
thing with
I think
West-
it's also the stage and the pressure that comes along with it. Because like when they went to the finals, like that OKC Big Three, they were like what 23 years old, 24 years old. So it's like they didn't have like much expectations on them. And then KD left, and when KD left, he was like, I need to like prove it to the world and whatever. So he was
Yeah.
balling out with his triple doubles and stuff. But like over time his free throws got worse, his 3-point shooting
Yeah.
got worse, and like
He-
everyone just started
no,
like
but he
roasting
was
him like crazy.
always like since the start of his career, he was like a decent mid-range shooter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And now he just can't shoot at all. It's so sad. Like he's
I
Do
think
you
literally
I think
agree? Wait, do you agree though that James Harden and Westbrook play better when they're not together on the floor?
Oh yeah, for sure. And you could see
Right.
it in this game. For example, James Harden was on the floor and then they had like a 5-out setting, so
Yeah.
they had 4 shooters around him so he could like go to work. They couldn't double
Exactly.
Harden, right? Because they just started kicking it to the open guy. That's why PJ Tucker balled out. That's why Eric
Yeah.
Gordon balled
Yeah.
out. Like PJ Tucker might be the greatest corner shooter of all time. I don't know. That's how he's
he
playing,
is.
right?
No, this season he is. He has
Bruce
the most.
Bowen,
Yeah.
PJ
Yeah,
Tucker,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But
And
the thing with Westbrook is he has these terrible games, but then he also has these moments or these games where you realize like, holy shit, this is Russell Westbrook. This is one of
Yeah.
the
yeah. No,
top 5 point guards of today.
it's never gonna happen, but like, it would be so good for the team if he just like came off the bench. Like, like just to run his own unit.
Yeah.
Because, he can't coexist with James Harden like in the same lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Russ is in there, they can sag off of him, they can double Harden, which is what they were doing. They were trapping Harden every
Yeah.
single time.
You guys think he's a choker? You think Westbrook chokes? I think he gets nervous, dude. I feel like
Did
he's the guy
you
who gets.
did you guys see the the video they posted of the Lakers leaving him open?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Literally,
yeah.
LeBron watching him there, and then open, no one closing out, and then he shoots you somewhat to the right.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's just
I
that
think he gets nervous.
Jeff Van
Yeah.
Gundy said it best a while ago. He he was he changed his play style for some reason so far in this series,
Yeah.
where instead of cutting weak side or offside while there's a double, right. You said he took 7 threes,
Yeah. Yeah.
more than usual. Like there's something wrong. I think it's either he was just trying to find the rhythm, or they got to him mentally where he wanted to prove the Lakers wrong. Something like that, maybe.
Yeah. I
But
think
he's
to be honest, I think LeBron's in his head also. Because if you watch the
The
games,
blocks,
dude,
man.
LeBron chased down
Yeah.
SWAT like 3 times now in this series,
God.
right?
yeah, but you
Off
think
of,
that's
like,
gonna that's not
off the
gonna
weak
face a
side.
guy like Russell
No,
Westbrook
no.
who's been like
And Westbrook kanina, he had 7 turnovers. Like that's classic Westbrook,
Yeah.
but you can't be doing that against the Lakers because the Lakers are so deadly in transition. That's why you saw LeBron like get 2 alley-oops from Kuz and then from Caruso, and then it just changed the entire momentum of the game.
Mhm.
how many turnovers did Harden have? I'm sure he had more. Oh, he had 5. How does
Yeah.
so wait, Westbrook 7 turnovers minus 14, 10 points.
And the interesting thing is that it was bad that Russ was in foul trouble because that means
Yeah.
he sat.
Yeah.
So
Who's
the,
guard-
Li-
who-
the
who's
Lakers
guarding
actually
Westbrook?
wanted Russ on the court, like so that they could leave him open so that he
But-
could turn the ball over.
When he
So sad.
committed the 5th foul, he was actually on the floor for a while, and I think that's where it really changed. Because
He couldn't guard anyone.
Yeah, he couldn't guard anyone. Exactly,
Yeah.
he was sagging off. I think LeBron backed him down, and then he just
Yeah.
pulled the chair, and then
And
he
he-
let Rondo hit
Dude,
a jumper.
Bro, today's Westbrook, he was shooting bricks, he was committing fouls, he was giving turnovers. Like it was just, yeah, it's just a forgettable day for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to like all the Russell Westbrook fans out there.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
okay,
Rodrigo
I-
Bitong, if you're watching this. Like Brody ain't it, man. Brody ain't
I
it.
didn't know he's a Westbrook fan.
Yeah, I think he's a
Westbrook to the
diehard.
Knicks.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So this is for all the Boston Celtics fans out there.
Oh,
Today
we're going,
we had a
wait.
Rajon Rondo playoff Rondo sighting. He had 10 points, 9 assists, 5 steals, and he just made so many like nice small plays. Like yeah, okay, he can't really shoot that well like
Yeah.
from 3, but like on one possession he like picked up Harden from full court and then he completely stripped him, went for the layup. Like
Yeah,
it just makes Harden's life difficult, and he has that veteran savvy. And I think Frank Vogel said it best when he said that Rajon Rondo just brings like this swagger to the team. Like he's just oozing with confidence, Like playoff
Right.
Rondo's real, man.
He was plus 28. 28.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's the highest
And-
on the team.
he was
Yeah.
the first Laker defender, even in the Portland series, where if it was on Lillard or Harden, where he was really picking up the ball and like those intense stances.
Yeah.
We've all had that. He was just going so low. That was Rondo today. It's fun to watch.
Dude, I
It
swear,
is, it is.
Rondo is
28,
like
crazy.
the ultimate, like, he's like the anti-Harden or the anti Giannis.
Anti-Harden.
He only shows up on the playoffs.
I want to see yeah. I want to see him like beef with.
I don't get
Russ,
it though.
Just
Do you think he knows it? Like, is it subconscious? Like, okay, right, it's playoffs. I'm
no,
gonna play hard now.
Yeah, it seriously is. Like from watching like
Or does he
all
just
of the Laker.
naturally play well?
Yeah,
Or does
from
he
watching all of the
choose, like-
Laker games. What is it in the regular season? Like he doesn't like try that hard on defense. Like he just goes through the motions, and then obviously when it's the playoffs, he's like, okay, it's Rondo time. Yeah.
He played 29 minutes, most off the bench. He played more than my
Yeah.
favorite player.
He was on a restriction pa.
No, but that's okay. Like that's my main concern. He played
What?
so well today, and he played like 29 minutes. I
Yeah.
think that's a bit too much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
I think he was on a 24-minute restriction. if
yeah,
I'm not
but
mistaken.
even without the injury minutes restriction, I think
Yeah.
he should be like 25, 26. Like
Dude,
you
you're
need
just a Rondo hater. He was plus 29. Leave him on
You
the
need-
court,
you
man.
need
You
to-
deserve
no,
How
it.
old is the guy?
he's not gonna be playoff Rondo like every single game. That's the problem.
Dude, if your team's winning when you're on the floor, just leave it on. It's simple,
Yeah,
coach.
no, but he's not gonna do that.
No, but
watch
today,
like the next few
today he
games.
played well, so why not just play him longer? Plus
Oh no,
28,
it was
dude.
no, it was good today. Yeah, it was good today.
Yeah.
And just so you know, plus 28 is tied for his highest in
Career.
plus minus for the 96 games that he's played as a Laker. So this is like,
as
you
a
know,
Laker. As a Laker.
Oh,
yeah,
as a Laker.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's what counts. Like this is not the Boston Celtics Rondo that
Yeah.
you knew
My
and
favorite
loved, right?
player.
Yeah,
I wonder how
So-
JaVale is.
yeah.
Still
He
didn't
got
play, bro.
injured.
Oh, he got injured?
Yeah,
Yeah, he got injured.
hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Rockets, when they play 5 out, it's so hard to double Harden. So PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon went off. Tucker had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 of 7 from 3. Eric Gordon, 24 points, 6 of 12 from 3. Like, they just go nuclear when Russ is not on the court. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow if you're Mike D'Antoni, right?
How does Harden only shoot 12 shots? Was he not feeling it today? Too busy last night partying. There's some games, dude. I really don't understand what goes in that guy's head. Like he just there's
What is
that
that?
one game against the Spurs like 3 years ago, and there was like theories that he was drunk because he was like. Do you remember that game, Andre? I
Yeah, I
forgot. It
remember
was a
that.
series of Spurs Rockets, and
Yeah.
like the Rockets just rolled over, and Harden had like 0 for 13 and couldn't dribble the ball at all. Like this guy just. I don't know if it's choking or if it's just. It could be laziness because this guy literally gives
Yeah.
you those vibes where like
I think
For one
this
game.
guy has a lot of distractions.
right for one game he's
Dude.
just like nah bro I don't like that time like everything was like political during the start, like there were a lot of social issues, right?
Yeah.
Concerning the bubble, before the bubble, and then his mask, what did he wear? Do you know that he wore like a Trump supporting
Yeah.
mask or something? Then he was like,
I think
nah,
I think it was a
in the start when they entered the bubble.
a
I can't
controversial
remember.
like police symbol.
yeah.
mask.
It was
Yeah,
a police
yeah.
symbol mask, and people were like making such a big deal, like, oh my god, James Harden is a what do you call this? He's racist, blah 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 blah. blah. But then he quotes like, "Oh, I just wore it because it looked cool." So it seems like
And
a
dude,
guy.
Shout out to Carlo Favis.
What?
He actually did the paper where he studied the cities where James Harden played and the strip club, something like that.
Oh wow.
The quality of how the quality of the
Oh, he
strip
made that?
clubs affected. No, I'm not sure if he made it or he just showed it to me, but
Oh,
he made
okay,
something similar, and shout out to him.
Yes, this guy. Well, he had 27 points because he had 13 free throws as usual. But then he only shot 12 times, which is kind of because like he could jack up 30 shots in a game. Like
Yeah.
he'll make like 2 shots and he'll still take like 30, like if he wanted to, and they'll win the game. And
Yeah.
that's just because he's so dominant as an offensive player. But there's just some games he disappears, and I really
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
But I don't think this game is him disappearing, because I think the 12 shots that he took is a reflection of the Lakers game plan and the adjustments that they made
Yeah.
from game 1.
so
So
they
in
doubled
game
him.
they kept doubling him in game 2, that he kept having to give up the
Give
ball.
up the ball.
And
Right.
one of the big adjustments they made was they dropped Dwight from the rotation. So by doing that, they could keep switching, diba?
Yeah.
So
Right.
so just by switching, they couldn't get anything going
They were
for
able
Harden at
to.
least.
I think they were able to close out and contain. But there was a time in the third, I think, where the Rockets were so hot. Like they
Yeah,
came from 21 down, and the double, bang, that strategy. It seemed like it wasn't working for a while,
and
but
yeah, and that's
it turned
where
around again when Westbrook came.
that's where
It's really
PJ
that.
Tucker, Eric Gordon. That's
Yeah.
when they went nuclear in
Yeah.
I think it was in the third quarter.
And what happened? What happens when they double Harden? It's not just the open potential open threes they get because of all this running around and closing out.
Yeah,
There were so many offensive rebound opportunities. So you saw Tucker 6'5" grabbing those boards,
yeah.
crazy.
And I
How
think,
was
and with all those threes jacked up, it's long rebounds. So it's like
Yeah,
better for them as a small team.
Jeff
and
Green, my boy?
Jeff
Jeff
Green.
Green was okay, pero Rocco, man, Rocco.
Yeah,
I think I don't know, is he a free agent after the season? But dude, this guy deserves a paycheck for me. Like, I'm not
he's
saying he's a
legit.
max player, of course not. But with how guys are getting paid, 3 and D is the value in today's game.
Yeah.
Rocco, man, that's him.
So like let's break down the Rockets, like their play style and their philosophy, right? So a lot of people think they lack height and rim protection,
Yeah.
but because of those deficiencies, they have like this active swarming amoeba defense, right?
Yeah.
Their hands are so good, they move so fast, they switch so well.
Yeah.
And like for example, I need to clear this up for so many people. Like, yeah, little PJ Tucker, he's 6'5", but he weighs 250 pounds. Okay, let's put that into
Oh
perspective.
shit,
Like,
bro! And
stupid.
he looks like a fucking someone that you don't want to mess with. Also,
Exactly.
that makes you like
He's massive. He's
that's like
massive.
5 plus 5 inches, dude.
Yeah,
Someone would-
and even more importantly, he has a 7-foot wingspan. Okay, so he's six
dude,
five, but he has a seven
I
foot
thought you were gonna
wingspan.
dude, he
say
has like
something
a
else.
he has a huge collection of shoes, bro. He has the biggest
Yeah.
When you
collection
said
of shoes nowadays.
seven.
So he can guard those centers, right?
Yeah.
Because you play defense with your body and not the very top
Right.
of your skull.
Right.
Everyone thinks like, oh, 6'5", like he's
Yeah.
so small, but he has the tools, right? You can't
Yeah.
move him. He can contest with his long arms, and he's fast enough to keep up with like people like Anthony Davis who can
Mm-hmm.
beat like slow defenders, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
So I
Anthony
think,
Davis needs to develop that like shoot like that Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway shot, dude. Like his
dude,
touch is so good. He can
AD is
actually
deadly
develop.
from the mid range like
He
these
can't
days.
no,
Like
but he
he's
can't
cooking.
guard. He can't do it when like someone's like right up on his grill. He needs to establish that
But
1-2
those
fadeaway
AD mid-range
shot.
shots, those are the type of shots you're like, wow, why is he taking it? But when he
Yeah, yeah.
makes it,
You wanted to
you
go
just don't
strong
say it.
against,
Yeah.
especially against the Rockets. You,
But I
you,
think
yeah.
1 foot in the paint, he's getting doubled. Maybe that's his mindset. So I think he wants the points
Yeah.
rather take that jumper.
Yeah, and I think it wears on his body less, less
Yeah.
banging, and then it
Mhm.
takes less energy to like hustle to the rim. You can just
Right.
fade away, and
Right.
that's where some of the criticism comes from. Like, why are you settling for jumpers? Why don't you have that dog in you? Like that. That's what
Mhm.
everyone says about him. And shout out to your boy, like Robert Covington. He was a huge acquisition for when they
What
traded
did they?
Capella.
Well, that
Yeah.
was Capella, right? And then
Yeah,
they just got
Yeah, I
him.
think it was a 3-team trade.
Yeah,
yeah. And dude, Rocco, first in steals, fifth in blocks in the playoffs. Like that just shows how
Mhm.
much of a defensive stalwart he is, right?
Wild
Like
dude.
all deflections, the whole package. Like, and he can swish it from three, like
Yeah.
consistently.
Dude, he can make those tough contested shots. It's
Yeah,
impressive talaga.
dude, he's a prototypical like Rockets player, like modern era
Yeah.
Rockets player.
Better
three
than
and D.
I remember the time of
the
Ariza,
Yeah,
Emba Amute. Like when those are the good 3 and D guys na that time. But
yeah.
Covington, dude, better.
Oh yeah, he's like an Ariza when Ariza
Yeah.
was good. Like
But I think
that
I don't know. Can I say Rocco's better?
than
Is
Ariza.
that premature of me? Am I being a prisoner of the moment?
I
I'll
think
take Rocco.
yeah, I
Me.
think I'd take Roku. Well, I don't know. Ariza has these like moments where he's on fire, but I feel like Roko's the type.
Yeah,
It's like the he always go. I don't know if against the Celtics when I watch him, he always goes crazy from three. Like back
Yeah.
when he was in the Sixers, like it's the
But I
type of
think
player that
one thing Rocco has that Ariza doesn't have is rim protection. Like it's actually crazy
Yeah.
how good he is at guarding the rim. Like I
Right.
said, fifth in blocks in the playoffs. Like you'd assume all the other guys ahead of him are like big
Yeah.
men, right?
Yeah.
Like his timing is just so good. He has that
Mm.
length, and yeah, he's just so committed on the defensive end. And it's
Well,
not
we'll
just. Oh,
we'll
sorry.
never
Go ahead.
really know if Ariza, unless Ariza turns into a center also.
he's
Yeah,
the
Weird
tallest, right,
call.
Rocco? He's like
Yeah,
six
he's the
seven,
tallest in the lineup.
the tallest on the team.
So
yeah,
basically the center.
and it's not just Tucker and Covington as like the solid 3-and-D players of the Rockets.
Yeah.
Like they have Eric Gordon with his big broad shoulders.
Ben McLemore.
Yeah, dude, Ben McLemore is
Danwell.
actually balling out for them. Yeah,
He didn't do anything today though. I'm
yeah,
looking at the
not in the
stats.
playoffs. Like he was a good acquison for the regular season. I don't even think
Danwell
he's in the rotation.
House.
Bro,
Danwell
can I just
House.
say when he got drafted, I thought he was the next big thing. I remember that.
So that's like
seventh
me
pick.
and Jeff Green. The Celtics traded Perkins, and I legit thought Jeff Green was the next like Kevin Durant. Put all my
No
money
way.
on that one, bro.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Danwell House. He's like a jelly fam guy. I don't know if
Yeah,
you saw, like he
Dan.
had 2 jellies today. Like, oh my god. And then Jeff Green resurging his career. Austin Rivers.
I have a
Yeah.
question though. But this is like not basketball. It's do you think Harden and Westbrook are friends? Like good friends?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's why
You think
they
that's why it
wanted.
worked?
Yeah, that's
That's why
why they
they
were
tried to
willing to
work.
go up CP3.
So they've been friends like since OKC
Yeah,
days, and then they
since
just
they go
never.
back to OKC.
Yeah.
You think
And I think it's good that they're friends because they can hold each other accountable. Like
low
Harden can call
maintenance
out Russ when
friendship.
he's, being a freaking Ninja Turtle and not
So
playing
we can
basketball.
establish that Paul and Harden hated each other, right? Like
Yeah,
You
I'm
remember
pretty
the
sure.
slap
sure.
video?
I think every player
Oh,
who
yeah.
plays with Chris Paul hates him, except like LeBron or something.
I
or
don't
they're
even
like,
know if LeBron would like playing with him just because they're both so like
because he's a
Ball
political.
passive
dominant.
aggressive and they
Because-
work behind the scenes so well. Like they're just
Yeah.
I don't know. And they're both alphas. Like
Yeah.
it's tough.
They're both drama queens. You mean
Oh, your words, not mine.
Is he a top 5 point guard though?
Chris Paul? Yeah,
Chris Paul right now?
Yeah.
dude, there's point
Ever.
guard.
Oh, ever? Yeah, point guard. One of
So
the
he is.
purest point. Well, top 5. That's tough.
Yeah,
Um,
That's a
five.
tough one.
Steph Curry is better than Chris Paul.
Steph
Yeah,
Curry's
we
in
all-
there. Yeah.
Can you name just name this? Can you name 5 people off the top of your head that are better than Chris Paul?
Magic.
Bob
Mhm.
Cousy.
I'll take. You know who gets forgotten in history like all the time? Isaiah Thomas. That guy
Yeah,
is a
he
winner.
does.
He's a winner, man.
Isaiah
Like I'll
Magic.
take.
Wait, Isaiah Magic, Steph. That's 3.
I say
Yeah.
the 5'9", huh?
AI. Would you put Allen Iverson over Chris Paul?
No, you see, he goes in the shooting guard debate.
Yeah, AI
Yeah.
shooting guard.
Yeah.
Wait,
Really?
Magic.
He's like 4'10".
Yeah.
Wait,
Sometimes-
no order. I'd get Magic, Stockton,
Yeah,
Steph. Okay, those 3 are non-negotiables. I
Would you
think.
put Isaiah over Chris Paul?
I would put Isaiah over Chris
Yeah.
Paul just because he's
Two-time champ.
he's a winner, man, and he plays hard. He comes up big, and I think that's what separates Isaiah from like other
What,
like besides
he has
Magic,
a-
of course. Like
he has
he
a ring.
he can be the best player on a championship team, and he's like a closer, right? Like Steph is really good, and obviously he, like compiled all of those rings, but I don't know if Steph can be called a closer. You know?
Because he didn't have to close. Just kidding.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, exactly. Like
No, there was one the
just
game
blew them
7
out.
against the Cavs. He choked. Remember? But wait,
no,
so Chris
there-
Paul.
there's
he's-
there's
Chris
a lot
Paul-
of evidence of him choking. Like
Would you
Steph.
put him at 5?
I'm not calling him a choker, but there are times where like he came up a bit
We're
small.
we're not talking
Yeah.
about Steph. Not today.
Yeah.
So wait, Chris Paul, number 5, I think
Yeah.
for me.
That's
Stockton,
tough.
Thomas. Who is it? Magic and.
I'll take
Steph.
Tony Parker.
Oh, I love Tony. But anyway, you combine Russ and Harden's elite disruption, right, with their steals, their strips, their deflections, with a plethora of 3-and-D role players, and then you have one of the you have the number one defensive efficiency team in the entire playoffs. Like that's the Houston Rockets. Like people are starting to like catch on with like their defensive prowess, right?
But the Rockets are just so weird to me. They're like the best worst team or the worst best
I,
team.
I
One of
agree with
those,
you there
right?
because
Like you
it's
don't genuinely know, is this team good? Like their time like against the OKC they went up 2-0, and I was telling
yeah
Javier like, bro, Rockets in 5, bro. I told you the whole time. This is not gonna be a
Sleeping on
series.
point guard Chris
But
Paul.
then
Like I had
the
Rockets in 7. I knew
games
the Rockets were
the
gonna give them a
games
run for their money.
the
yeah
games where the Rockets lost, they look terrible. Like
yeah
terrible. And Eric Gordon looks like a D League player, a PBA player out there. And then Harden
but he's
is,
good now.
I don't know what Harden was doing. And then they just look too small. They get out rebounded. And like,
Yeah
I just don't get it. I think it's more like the way I would diagnose it is that it's a make or miss league. You know what I mean? Like
yeah
Yeah.
teams these days, like you don't really need an analysis sometimes for games. You can just say like, oh, this team shot better than that team. That's why they won. Like the Celtics
right
Raptors series, like game 1 and game 2, the Celtics shot better than the Raptors and they won. Then game 4 and game 3, the Raptors shot better, they won. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
the thing with the Rockets where they're so reliant on the three, and that's why some games they just look horrible off nights. Then some games they actually look like game 1 they look like
yeah.
Yeah.
contenders.
But that's
Have you got
that's their motto, isn't it? Like live and die by the 3. And that's happened like every single season. Like
It's just so
they're
weird, like the
they're
lows and
like the number
highs.
1 regular season team, and then they get to the playoffs. Let's say they had like that 3-2 lead versus the Warriors. Granted, like Chris Paul got injured, but they missed like a record-breaking, what was it, like 27 straight threes?
yeah something like that right
Yeah. And just Harden has a history of coming up small in the biggest moments.
Oh.
And Russell Westbrook doesn't help either because you never know what you're getting from him, right?
yeah. But I
So
agree with Vince in a way that it's a weird team. Because when you think of the Rockets, you're thinking of all these offense, Mike D'Antoni offensive schemes. What's weird for me now, especially this season, these playoffs, because I think they're such a great defensive team. Like I
Yeah.
think there's a reason why they're the number one defensive team since the All Star break.
Yeah.
And when you start thinking of them as a defensive team, now you start to worry about their offense. And it actually reminds me of Moneyball. You
yeah,
do you guys know
yeah,
Moneyball?
Yeah.
Pero
yeah, yeah,
baseball,
yeah,
pero
yeah.
they're using
Yeah.
these stats and analytics. So it's funny lang because there's nothing sure about stats, nothing sure about analytics. You never know how consistent it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I think they need to find a way to get as much
They just need to put it,
consistency as
yeah,
possible. And
there.
like,
Put it
do you get
together.
that with Westbrook, right? That's,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a challenge. Talaga.
So what's
And I
what's the
think
predict?
he's gonna get his numbers, right? Like today he had
Yeah.
like 12 rebounds. He's gonna get what, like maybe 6, 7 assists because he's playing with Harden now, so it's a bit
Yeah.
lower. And then he's gonna get usually like at least 15 points. He just had such a bad game today. But it's like the important part is like how he gets his numbers right. Like how he gets his. It's like, is it efficient? Is he
Yeah.
turning the ball over? Is he in foul trouble like today?
Is he swearing at the kids on screen?
Yeah.
You know
Is
the
he
bubbles
saying get out of
It's
here? And there's like the kids just like watching Baby
virtual-
Shark on their mom's laps as like the only audience in the crowd.
Dude, I love it, man. So Westbrook, dude. I bring my kids there. I see Russell Westbrook swearing at.
It's crazy.
So predictions. What you got for this series?
I think
I
have
said
I
Lakers.
have
in,
Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7. I said Lakers in
Yeah.
6 at
Yeah.
first, but
Yeah.
I think I'm still going with Lakers in 6 because
Yeah.
I was tempted to go 6, but I wasn't feeling bold today. So
I don't know. I don't know if the Rockets just have enough to put it together or have enough. It feels like a team that's like good enough, but they haven't
Yeah.
figured it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe because the season because they made it mid-season trade, right? And then the season
Yeah.
got cut, so obviously it took some time. And then Westbrook was injured like half the season. Then in the bubble he got injured again.
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the Lakers they have like what an underwhelming bubble so far, but they also have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, so they still have the two best players in
And
the series.
Kyle Kuzma, don't forget.
How did Kuzma
So
do?
what you got? What you got, Andre?
I got Lakers in 6 also.
Lakers in
Pero
6
I think it's gonna be the most interesting series. It's gonna be
Whoa.
in the
interesting.
second round.
Yeah, in the second
In
round.
the
In the
second
second
round, yeah.
round, yeah.
Not
I think it's because the
Celtics
games
Raptors.
it's not it's gonna be up and down and it's still gonna be unpredictable. I think
Yeah,
no blowout games in my opinion.
yeah. And I
So yeah.
think a big part of today that we haven't like touched on yet is like the bench mob of the Lakers, right? Like just for today, right?
Yeah.
So you had Markeith Smooth Chris, Markeith Morris, right? And then he
The
balled
not
out with
dirty one.
16 points. Yeah, 4 out of 5 from 3. And then you got playoff Rondo like we touched on. And then 13 and 6 from Kuz is all right.
I get confused with the Morris, like who's better, who's not, who's like they've been up and like Markeith was the better one, right? At the start.
Yeah.
And then
Markeith
Marcus
was the third
and then Marcus
quote
got
unquote
a bit
star.
better than him. Then Markeith. Who's better right now? Markeith or Marcus? Or are they
I
literally
think
just
Mark
dude, they're probably
think
just
Marcus is
switching. I
better
think
right
one
now.
is better. I have a theory, dude. One is better, then they're just switching. You know what I mean?
They're both in LA.
You think
Now they're
NBA
both
would
in
catch them if they did that? I
No,
wonder.
no way. They wouldn't know anything.
No, they
I
check.
think
They
the
probably have the tattoos. They probably check the tattoos.
No, I think they have
before
different
do.
beards now.
No, I think
Oh, they do.
the teammates they would notice like they can't have like the exact same personality. But to be
No,
fair,
the
Mar-
place. The place. Like
Yeah.
the one Mars won't understand shit from the other team.
but Marcus Morris, right? He plays in the Clippers. Like let's say they swap him out. Bro, think of Kawhi like if he noticed that they were different, he would just go like he wouldn't say anything.
No, I think the test is
Marcus is a
putting
better shooter,
Lucas'
right?
foot in
I'm pretty
front
sure
of
Marcus.
them.
I mean,
Who steps on it?
Who steps on him?
Probably
Tough.
Mark.
So going back to the Lakers bench mob, I think the Lakers can win it all, and they don't need that third star if they can contribute offensively by committee. They just need like
who's gonna do
everyone
that?
chipping in like a little bit.
Rondo. Is it Rondo?
Yeah, playoff
My
Rondo.
bad.
But with the Lakers bench, you never know what you're gonna get, right? Like, are you gonna get playoff Rondo or Spitgate Rondo? Are they gonna get the finals 3-point record breaker Danny Green?
Chris
Or
Paul
is it the how
Rondo.
many more misses Danny Green? Are they gonna get like I'm the Lakers third star of the Cal Kuzma? Or I haven't improved since my rookie year, Cal Kuzma, right? Like it can just go either way.
Love the names.
Yeah, you really thought that out though.
Yeah, man. Like
So
you gotta
can
do
we
your
move
homework.
on? I'm sick of the Lakers, bro. Can we move on? Next game, please.
Last thing about the Rockets. I think Russ can't continue. He won't continue to be this bad, and the beard will he'll ball out a couple of games, right? So I think
The
yeah.
beard.
So I
Okay,
so I think that's where the Rockets wins will come from. But ultimately, AD's gonna play big, and LeBron's gonna will the Lakers team to the Western Conference Finals. So I got 7. You guys got 6.
Basically, the Lakers, baby.
Thanks for watching, guys. For updates and bonus content, follow at The Retrospect on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And remember, guys, come through with Buckets and Chill for all things basketball.